the way he does business.
Yeah, we've only got about 4 minutes, and I have like 5 directions I want to go in there right now. But let me ask, how did you get this guy to acknowledge and to notice, to recognize in himself this micromanaging behavior? I mean, a lot of times people go into denial, try to point this stuff out to him.
Well, there's a couple things. One, I do leverage heavily on my background. I've spent a lot of time in leadership, and I do have a nice pedigree when it comes to the Naval Academy and so forth. So I am actually able to provide a little bit of expertise when it comes to the leadership domain. But two, it's the other people in the room. The other CEOs that I had in the room were like, you cannot, I'll call him Bob, you can't do that. And they kind of jumped on him a little bit about it, but it helped him understand that, wow, I got all these guys telling me that this is not the way it's supposed to be. And, we helped him understand that, when we just walked through what I just walked through with you, that when he's working around this manager, he's not allowing him to be a leader. He has to allow him to fail. And these are the kind of things he knows as being a parent, too. He knew as a parent that he had to let his sons fail. And so he got around, it came around just through the peer pressure of the group that he realized that he needed to change around his way of thinking. Plus, with the work we were going through the leadership module that day in our program. And it called up some things that helped him understand that he needed to work on that. So it was great. It was a great session that day.
It sounds like it. Well, and clearly there's nothing to compare to the opinions of others who are at that same rank and in your same approximate field. I mean, who does the CEO listen to? Other CEOs, maybe.
I'm sorry. Your question was, who were some other people who were in the room?
Yeah, I mean, clearly that's how you got through to him, was giving him people whose stature was such that they were where he was, or they were where he wanted to be. They had the stature and the authority to speak at a level that for him to get into denial around that would have been very difficult.
Actually, his business was about 10 times bigger than everybody else in the room. I had a guy who ran an HVAC business in the room, and another guy who runs his 6 franchise locations around this area. So somewhere in the $4 or $5 million range. So they were all smaller than he was by far. If you look at my Facebook site, I say there's a big difference between good sound reasons and reasons that sound good. And and ultimately, you just can't run away from this objective truth. I mean, ultimately, that as long as you're doing the job for your general manager, the guy you hired to do that, you're not going to be able to sell the business for a good price. You're not going to be able to take off for 3 weeks to go to Africa. And you're not going to be able to scale your business. Those things are just obvious over the course of time. I mean, it's just, and I would assert that you don't necessarily even need a peer group to help you with that. It helps me because now I can leverage off all these other people. It makes my job easier, right? Sure. But it's just, these things are just self-evident over the course of time. But you just need to be able to hold that mirror in front of clients and help them understand that. They just look right at it and they realize the truth.
My guest is Ingar Grev, the growth coach in Washington, D.C. Ingar, we've got about 30 seconds left in this segment. Any last thoughts you want to share with us?
Yeah, the bottom line for coaching is just like any athlete out there, that you hire a coach in order to improve your game. And for any executive out there who's in a position that maybe his or her company won't hire a coach, or is trying to decide whether or not to hire a coach, look, the people who you're competing with out there are hiring coaches. And that's just the way it is. If Lance Armstrong didn't hire a coach, he'd be the best cyclist in Austin, Texas. And that's if all Tiger Woods did was watch a golf video, he'd be the best guy in his local public golf course. It's coaching, that accountability, that kicking clients in the tail, that getting you to the next level, helping you accomplish things you're trying to accomplish. That's what's successful. So don't be afraid of it, but make sure you check out the coaches. Make sure you're somebody who you can work with. Make sure that you like their background and that somebody who resonates with you, and go ahead and take a chance on it. And you'll find that it really makes a big difference.
Well, thank you very much, Ingar, for coming on the program. We're going to take a quick musical interlude and come back with the second half of the program. So stay tuned.